Today on this show, I'm going to answer the question, just what is the Speed Force? So the first thing you need to understand about the Speed Force is it cannot be defined. Usually when a writer gets a chance, they will reimagine it, which for the Speed Force isn't a bad thing, but it does make explaining it very, very difficult. A connection to the Speed Force is something that gives a few speedsters their powers, and a connection to the Speed Force does generally happen by accident, like the lab accident that gave Bart Allen and Wally West their powers. However, a connection to the Speed Force can be passed down genetically. However, this does come with a number of side effects, like in the case of Bart Allen. Because he was born with a connection to the Speed Force, by the time he was chronologically 2 years old, he was physically 11. So to list a few speedsters that have a connection to the Speed Force, because it is not as exclusive as you would think. There is Bart Allen, Bart Allen, Jay Garrick, Wally West, the Tornado Twins, Max Mercury, Inertia, Johnny Quick, and several others. There is a planet out there that understands the Speed Force so well they can actually utilize it, but because speedsters are literally connected to the Speed Force, one time when this planet tried utilizing it, they brought over Jay Garrick, and he actually helped save their planet. So as thanks, they gave him a physical piece of the Speed Force, which, whenever a speedster used, they could teleport themselves to this planet. There has also been a speedster that absorbed the entire Speed Force into himself. This is of course Bart Allen, but this was slowly killing him from the inside out. He was only able to use his abilities for long enough to stop Superboy Prime, which is obviously a good thing but a bad thing at the same time. But eventually a Flash costume was made for him about a year later that allowed him to use his abilities again. Bart would eventually be killed by Inertia and the Rogues, which would unleash the Speed Force back into the world and restore every single speedster's powers. Now it is worth saying that if you are connected to the Speed Force, you can't die like a normal person. When you die, you are absorbed into the Speed Force, which is kind of good because when technology exists to utilize the Speed Force, you can be brought back. We saw that when the Legion did exactly that with Bart Allen. Also, the Speed Force comes with countless abilities as well. Not just superhuman speed, there is superhuman invulnerability, you can phase through walls, you have a healing factor, you name it and you probably have it. But because the Speed Force is a very particular energy, and because everyone's body is different, each speedster tends to have their own set of unique powers as well. Like the Tornado Twins, they could create whirlwinds which would allow them to fly. Or my favourite power, which once again comes from Bart Allen, he had the ability to create clones of himself so he could exist at multiple locations at one time that had one mind, which I just thought was so cool, but this did come with the side effect of him experiencing his own death. There are some other ways to move at superhuman speed. There is a drug called Velocity 9, which will kill you from the inside out if you use it over a long period of time. And then there are some characters that have battery packs that will allow them to move at a maximum of 500 miles per hour, which is obviously nowhere near the speed of light, but it's still kind of impressive. I also believe that some characters do just have the ability to run super fast. I think Well-Spoken Lightning Flash from the Super Young team just is a speedster, and it's never explained if he has a connection to the Speed Force or not, but I think it's fair to assume not. All in all, the Speed Force is a very simple concept that's very difficult to explain for some reason, but you just need to know that it gives the speedsters their powers, and when the speedster dies, they get absorbed into the Speed Force. It's super effective! Okay guys, that is it for today. So what do you think of the Speed Force now? Please let me know in the comments down below. And also don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. And also don't forget to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, support the show by checking out my Patreon so I can make bigger and better and more history videos. And also don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel. My name is Faust, this has been Exploring Comics, and it is super effective.